evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, we do appreciate you tuning in and being a part of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I welcome you. I welcome you. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in right now to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. We had a little mishap on yesterday, and we got it going on. And things happen. I probably pushed the wrong button and got us in that situation on yesterday. But hey, we are here. We are ready to go. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, whatever affects you in this community. Guess what? Even politics. And politics is everything, and everything is politics, and that's why we are here. This is your program. I'm just hosting it, but it belongs to you, the community, giving you the opportunity to say what you want to say, to text what you want to text, and we talk about it. But whatever is on your mind that you think that we need to talk about, that's why we are here on Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. As I told you, uh, we are on Spotify, we are on the X, we are on YouTube. All of that will be up and running for you on Monday. You know the website I told you, you can go to Memphis Real Talk, one word, .com. MemphisRealTalk.com. And that will take you to the website. We want you to look at the website. We want you to appreciate it. Matter of fact, you can leave comments and tell us what you want us to talk about or things that are happening in the community. And you have the opportunity. You have an outlet like no other to be able to just say, hey, we want you, Jennings, to talk about this, that, or the other, because we just feel uncomfortable out here in the city before the law enforcement came in, additional law enforcement came in to help calm the city. A lot of you talk about, we don't want him here. You listen to these individuals that you put into office and telling you that you don't want them here. And people are saying often how safe they feel now since the additional law enforcement, the Highway Patrol, the U.S. Marshal, the ICE. Yes, the ICE, I'll talk about that now. There's a job that they have to do. The job has been created, and their specialty is to gather up people who are here illegally. You say what you want to say. That's what they do. Like the sheriff department, they patrol the county and city. You got the Memphis Police Department. They do their job in the city. So I don't knock ICE. ICE do what they have to do. If you've been here 25 years illegally, you stole your way into this country. And so if you stole something, you have to pay for what you stole. So you stole your right to be here in this city or this country without going through the basic process. Do I feel sad for individuals who are being taken away from their family members? Yes, I feel bad for them, but you got to understand, you can't do wrong and don't expect it to catch up with you. It may be 26 years. It may be 15 years. It could be longer than that. But if you do something illegally, you got to know it. I know for 26 years, that gentleman that was here illegally, he didn't rest well because he didn't know when that door would have that knock. When he was out working, he didn't know whether somebody was going to pull up. And he looked around for 26 years because he stole his way into this country. And he came to Memphis, Tennessee. And I feel sorry for him. But you got to do the right thing the right way. And when you don't do the right thing the right way, you're going to end up with some problems in this city, in this country, or what have you. But I want to ask you the question. and you give me your answer on this. Do you feel safe or safer since the law enforcement officers from all different genders have been here? How do you feel? Well, I can see that there's a difference. You're gonna have some bad apples doing still bad things, but they're not doing it the way they used to do it. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? They don't do it. The ripping and running in red lights. Some may do it when they don't see law enforcement around. That's another thing I have. You see, you're a coward when you sit back and break the law when somebody is not around. But if you're that bad to break the law when someone is not around, why not break it when someone's around? See, that's what cowards do, in my opinion. Zigzag in and out of the traffic, and you don't know whether to go left or right because they coming up behind you doing 100 miles an hour. People are losing their lives because of fools like that. In law enforcement a long time. I have no sympathy for anyone who openly violate the law. So whatever you have to do to an individual, you do what you got to do because you broke the law. If you don't have a problem with any of these law enforcement agencies, just do not break the law. I understand, this situation with SNAP, come November the 1st, your card will not be filled. There are going to be some problems. People are going to do some things that they normally probably wouldn't do. But because of the situation, I go back to the point, you have to watch who you put in office, whether it's locally or whether it's nationally. You have to watch who you put in office because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get what we're getting now. Two sides fighting over what one would do and what the other one will not do. And because of that, people will go home because they can't make the decision to do the right thing. It's more about power and who is in power. And that's the battle. The Democrats, they did some things when they was in power. The Republicans that are now in power is doing what they're doing. But there's a stalemate now. One needs the other. Government cannot open back up unless the Democrats uh, come in so they can do and have the quorum to do what they need to do. The Democrats are saying, no, we're not going to do it until you open up and go back and put this money on these millions of people who need the assistance, the help. And so we have a stalemate. So it comes down to power, opinion, and position, but it don't come down to helping the people who need the help. You know, the scripture said, and the poor shall be among you always. So we have a duty as society to look out for those individuals who fall into that category. But while you just stand there to sit there and argue back and forth and knowing that there are going to be some empty plates come November the 1st, if these people cannot get the assistance that they need, okay? So that's what we have to be careful of who we put in office, national as well as local. There's no difference. I went, used to go to these meetings and I would look at the agenda on the city council side, on the county commission side, and I would look at the agenda and the money that they were giving out to businesses, your tax dollars that they was giving out to businesses over and over again. And, you know, in some cases where your next meal is coming from. But at the same time, they can sit around here and just give away your tax dollars to this, that, or the other. We can call it nonprofits, and say a lot of nonprofits that do things that are great things that they do on behalf of the people. I can't argue with that. But there are some. that is questionable. How do they keep up with the money that they're giving to these individuals? Is there any uh, receipts or anything that you keep up with? How do they keep up with it when you give these individuals this money? How you doing it? Checks and balances. Who keeping up with it? We give you 1.5 million, and you say I'm going out here and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to help the people. Well, okay, you say you're gonna do it, but do you come back the next year for more money? Is there a record? Do City Hall have a record keeping where they have kept up with the money or see reports? It's just like giving free money away to certain organizations that say, well, we're going to fight the crime. Can you imagine all of the organization that's going to help stop crime? You know, uh, we got into this as a result of this, that, and the other, and we want to help to fight crime. But guess what? Crime is heavier than it ever been before in the history of the city of Memphis. Politicians tell you, oh, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fight crime on your behalf. But guess what happened? Crime steady rose and rose and rose to the point that they say, hey, we can't stop it. All we don't do is just get the money and run. And that's what you have when you come to politicians. And now Lee Harris, I saw a post that came to me. He has got a group he don't put together. They supposed to be working together. Y'all a bunch of clowns. People who supposed to be in leadership position now, you want to come together and this group gonna do this. Well, where was the group at? What were those individuals back then when this crime was happening? Now all of a sudden you want to look good, Lee Harris. Nothing, Lee Harris. You're putting people in place and they squinting and skinning and tap dancing and stepping and fetching just to be in front of a camera to say, well, I'm a part of this, I'm a part of that, and you're doing nothing. It's time out, ladies and gentlemen. It's time out for you to sit back and accept this foolishness that we're getting. And people ask me all the time, Bernard, who do you like? I say again, I like everybody, but I don't trust the devil inside of them. And that's the biggest problem with certain individuals that we have in elected position. You see them going off because that devil rose up inside of them and got them to act a clown on video as opposed to composing themselves because they are leaders and supposed to be in a position of leadership, but you're going to act like a clown. And the sad thing about it, and I said this about our community, and you know what I mean when I say our community. I mean the community that look like you and I for those who look like me. Why do we fall for the loud talking, good for nothing, doing nothing politicians in our community? You raise your voice, you're raising your voice, but it's not about raising your voice, it's about the action that you're going to take on behalf of the people. So if you're raising your voice and you're not doing anything, you're just a clown in a position getting paid, holding a position and doing nothing. And that's what we have to do. And I talk to the black community right now. We got to wake up from this foolishness. Just like they gathered together and took this picture and posted it on Facebook that we are coming together to do what? When are you coming together? You're playing with the people, but I want to. It's not about the politician to me. It's not about who you are and what you position you hold. I care less about that. What I care about is Miss Susan, who's trying to make ends meet. I care about Mr. Willie, who have stood out there and fought and went to work every day until he got to the point he couldn't work anymore and he needed assistance. Those are the type of people that I worry about. Those are the type of people that sooner or later, as age continue to catch up with me, I will be one of those senior citizens who sit around, hopefully that I'm blessed enough that people will look at me and be concerned about me as opposed to some of these knuckleheads who the mothers and the fathers have taken care of them all of their life. And some still living on mom and daddy, but don't care nothing about them. You know, I'm talking about this is my house. When mom and daddy died, this is my house. See, if I had an individual that was a son or a daughter talking like that and wasn't looking out after me, what I would do is get a lawyer, get him to sell my house, take the proceeds and go into me assisted living somewhere. Now, individual, that you said is your house and you've been sitting there living off of mama all these years, where you gonna go now? If you disrespect her, she needs to do that because she living her golden years. She's supposed to sit back. He's supposed to sit back and enjoy life. Don't supposed to have a grown, you know what, sitting there in the house with you, sucking up all the air and getting all the heat, eating up all the food and doing nothing. But I know parents. I know good people. They decide, hey, I don't want to do my child like that. But I think in life you have to show tough love, whether it's relatives, whether it's a friend, or sometimes you get to that point you have to show tough love. And tough love can help you or it won't help you. Because if you ain't got the mindset set to help yourself, you're gonna be out in the cold. As long as I can remember, I started working at 12, 11, 12 years old. And I love to work. I love to get up and go to work to earn my keep. I always wanted a family to build and to strengthen and teach my children. I always strive to do that. And Lord bless me through all those things. And I'm grateful for my life and what I've gone through and what I've done from one position to another in life to achieve. I am grateful to God that He has allowed me to do those things. And I'm not done yet. I won't be done until the creek rises on me. Then I'll be no more. But until then, I'm going to do what I'm doing right here. And it says whoever run against Jennings Bernard, we're going to win. We as them, we don't like to talk and say things that we don't like. But guess what? It really doesn't matter because when it came down to me and in the race I was in, I never lost the race. You would say, no, I didn't. I said to you, the people lost. When Jennings Bernard was not elected to the position that his heart put into and would have done, would have stood and said, hey, when I said no, I mean no. I cannot be persuaded to go against what I feel is right. Things that I've said, things that I'm saying, and I've had people call me and say, man, hey, man, kind of lighten up a little bit. I say, I thank you for calling, brother. I'll see you the next time I see you. Because don't call me and tell me something I'm saying and I'm doing, and I believe in my heart that I'm doing the best thing to enlighten the people of this community. Don't call me telling me to slow down. Don't call me and tell me I need to lighten up. You need to be doing the same thing I'm doing because you know that what you see is going on is wrong, but you may be benefiting. by way of grants, by way of jobs. You may be benefiting from it. So, I know you ain't going to do right. So I know when you talking to me, you evidently got some benefits from some of these jackleg preachers, some of these jackleg politicians. You're doing that. So I want for nothing. I ask for nothing when it comes to politics. I've had to let some of my own personal family members go because of the mindset that they thought they had, or they could persuade me that you need to do this. No, no, no. I do what I think I need to do. I do what I think spiritually that I'm led to do, and you can't change that. You can't change the idea of what I think is necessary for the people in the city of Memphis to do better. And I ask you, and I ask you again, are you safe or safer since the National Guard and others have been here? You know it. And you know what? I don't wish anybody harm. I don't wish them any harm. But when I hear 901 on these other groups talking about they don't want them here, but you're saying that right now because death may not have come to your door. Your child may not have been violated, abused, or misused. So you feel safe enough in your mind to go against the people here to help other family members to be safe. So guess what? Sooner or later, hear what I'm saying? That's life. Mishaps will come your way. It all depends on how you deal with the mishap in life. Will you be stronger after it, or will you break down mentally, physically, because you're devastated to the point that this happened to you? Is your faith strong enough? Are you willing to stand up, speak up, and carry this torch that need to be carried as a community, as an individual, to make a difference? Are you prepared to do that when it comes? Be careful what you say you don't need, because the very essence of what you saying you don't need, tomorrow morning you may wake up and you may need it. So be careful what side you choose as it relates to what's going on in the city of Memphis. Do I appreciate Washington, D.C. cutting off these food stamps, as they used to call it, the EBT card of people who need it? No. But do I appreciate them coming in and making this city safe? I'm not no boo-boo to fool and tell you we were doing okay before they came here. And we had a death every night, every day in this city. But these boo-boo to fools that will have you to believe everything is fine. Guess what? If you look at those individuals while your plate is empty and they telling you that you don't need the law enforcement here, they plate is full. So that says to me, when you say you don't need them here, you don't care about the safety and the welfare of the people in this community. You only care about yourself. See, it's beyond you. If you're blessed to be in that position, that you can be secure in your home, that you don't live in a community where you're not secure, but you're in a community where you are. So you can say, well, they don't need to be here, but cross town, there's people who don't have the guard doors on their doors, that somebody can just kick their door in and go in and kill them. But you are safe in your suburban community, but yet you're going to talk. against the people that are here to help all the people, and you sit up here and talk about we don't need them here. You selfish. For every 901 person who stood up there talking about you don't need the National Guard, you don't need the law enforcement, you boo-boo the fool. Now get this straight. There, even when I worked in law enforcement, there are some people who take that power and do wrong with the power. That's it. They do that. But 99% of are out there trying to keep you safe. It's just that small percentage, maybe 90%, maybe 10% of law enforcement may not do the right thing, may be caught up in that power because they got the gun, the badge, and the handcuffs. I've seen that. But me as an individual, you could not display that in front of me when I was in law enforcement because I will put you in check. Don't care who you were, what color you were. If I was riding with you, we gonna do what we supposed to do, and that is protect and serve. Bottom line. And if we couldn't do that, then we didn't ride together. But I knew that existed. But not all men and women who serve this community has that mentality. These individuals in the National Guards and others who have left their families to come active, to be out here for one reason only, to protect and serve you. And I heard some woman who was at the Soulfish Cafe. Some of you may have saw it. And some of the National Guards was in there eating their lunch. And she got on her phone on Facebook Live and holler, look, over here at Soul Food Cafe over in Cooper Young, the National Guards are sitting. I'm gonna move back and let you see them. But I called the management and asked them why are they feeding the National Guard? Because we don't need them here. And I sat there and listened to her. I said, you fool. And I even typed on there, what is wrong with you? What are you talking about? You telling them not to be there, but you sitting right in the same place. What makes you more important than these people who are protecting and serving us because of your mixed up, twisted up, tangled up mind? Gonna say that they don't need to eat, that they don't need to be served. But because of those people here, right here, in this country, in this land, and on foreign land, your, you know what I'm saying, is free to sit up and do what you just did, to disrespect individuals who are here to protect you. But go let you walk out that door from Soulfish Cafe, and somebody was waiting there by your car, slapped you upside your head, threw you on the ground, took your keys, and ran off with your car. Who the first somebody you gonna call? You gonna call the MPD, sheriff's office, whoever you need, because you need help. But yet, just a few minutes earlier, you was on Facebook running your mouth for talking about the soldiers didn't need to be fed. And you had a complaint, and then had the nerve, the audacity to get on this Facebook and say, don't come to Soulfish Cafe in Cooper Young. Why? Because they were feeding the soldiers? See, some of us are not thinking in our mind. I was just going to say outside of our mind. They're not thinking. All you want to do is this 15 minutes of fame to talk about this, that, and the other, and you don't realize if it wasn't for those folks, and I was one of them for 6 years, I was one who wore a military uniform. I was one who said that I'm willing to serve this country, to protect them from foreign and domestic. terrorists in this city. I was one of them. And just to think that somebody that you're out there fighting for to be free would have the audacity to disrespect the people in uniform in our military, that the purpose is his. I don't wish you bad, but I do wish that reality will check you. If you were that young lady or anybody else who have that foolishness to say that we don't need them here, you may run into problems. I can run into problems. But I feel comfortable knowing that we got more than just the MPD and the Sheriff's Department that's out here helping, trying to make it. And they are making it. The numbers are truly going down now. It's not like it used to say, get these stats and say, hey, uh, the numbers are down. And you know you were lying. You know you were lying. But it's a whole different story now. I'm Jennings Bernard. You're listening to Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. What is going on in this city? They got the chief of the fire department of the city of Memphis is retiring. And everybody was saying congratulations and all that. But Chief Sweat has a history. And I posted on my Facebook page. You know, congratulations to anybody who did their job well and served in that capacity to make sure that your house got on fire. They were there to put it out. If you were robbed, they were there to, to help you. God bless all of those. But to those people who have been in leadership positions, from mayor's office and council and commissioners, that the people depend on you doing the right thing. There must be something to the allegation that was made by fire director Chief Sweat that she retired now. She's no longer going to be a problem, but you never know the mentality of the people she had under her that may still exist within the fire department. But go to my Facebook page, put it up. I went and researched and pulled it for the allegations and the lawsuit, uh, well, just said the ethic complaint was filed against her for discrimination. And I've talked to people at the top of the chain when it came to the fire department. And they would tell me that they were being discriminated against when it came to promotions and other things certain people got. Now I know that exists. It happened at the sheriff department. If you was out there painting signs and running around putting signs out for whoever the sheriff was or the sheriff running, uh, you got promoted. You know, even on the sheriff department, there's people that don't merit to walk around with the rank that they had that I witnessed because they were good old boys out there playing the good old boy game, but with no up or down when it came to the rank that they had either on their shoulder or on their collar. Didn't know what a real officer looked like, but I looked at what real officers look like for 6 years in the Marine Corps. I know what it was to wear these chevrons on your sleeve as a Marine. I saw lieutenants, corporals, captains, sergeants. I saw all the rank. And you look at these guys who have these eagles on their collars. In the military, those are full bird, as we used to call colonels, not play colonels who walk around and wouldn't know what to do in the military with the rank of an eagle on their card. Probably would have never rose to that rank if they made it a career out of it. Because in the military, if you wore those ranks, it meant something. It didn't mean anything to you if you was a good old boy or you were the son of somebody that used to be a chief and you end up being a chief, you end up being a captain, you end up being uh, an eagle inspector. See this game and the reason we are falling as a community is that we're putting people in position that don't have the experience or the know-how to deal with it. You saw it here recently with Tanner Sawyer. In that position as a clerk, she's the highest thing in that office. But you mean to tell me that with that position, she would act a fool like that? It's called being inexperienced. It's called poor leadership. But you all make these people and put them in these positions. Somebody told me that the reason Eric Sugarman wasn't there, she was over in China negotiating or talking on behalf of Shelby County. All that was a free trip. What in the world is she gonna do over in China on behalf of Shelby County government? So that's the reason she wasn't there. I laughed, and when I started laughing, the person that saw me, or that was talking to me saw me laughing. Then he started laughing. He said, "Man, I see what you mean." That's all that was—the free trip to say, "Oh, guess what? I went to China. I went to China on behalf of Shelby County." And you have elected officials doing that all the time. You got to go over here to find out what another city figured out that you couldn't figure out. To me, that would be a slap in the face. I wouldn't want to go somewhere else to learn what somebody else doing, knowing that I couldn't do it. I didn't have the brain power to come up and understand what it took for them to make their city better. So I got to run to their city and figure it out. And they laughing at you. You know, these buffoons from Memphis came up here to New York to try to figure out what we could do so they can implement it in their city. Why? Are you saying you're not qualified to figure out what New York figured out, or Philadelphia figured out, or California? You're in the position, you're being paid to figure things out, and you can't. That's the reason I don't care 2 cents about any politician that's in this city that I know that is not trying. Now, there's some that I respect and doing the job to help you in Nashville. Some speaking out on the county commission, city council. But there's a whole lot of them that's doing nothing but drawing a paycheck. And I'm digging and I'm getting more information. I'll be talking about that. How Brian Carson got the position of chief executive coordinator for the general session court. Man who took money from the Democratic Party when he was chairman. He has to step down and resign. I pulled up all those articles. We're going to be posting them on the website as well as Facebook and other entities we got now. It's time to put it out on Front Street now. For too long and so long, they've been doing this and they've been getting away with it. Judges getting behind individuals. Get, you need to know about it. What I find out, I'm going to tell you. Oh, you need to be aware of what you got going on in this city, and you'll actually have nothing going on with the leadership you got. A good friend of mine, we debated for a small period of time about the leadership. Good friend of mine. We disagreed. but we love each other. She appreciates me, I appreciate her, and we've been good friends for a long time. But we was on different sides of the coin when it comes to the school board, when it comes to the poor leadership. And my question to her is, tell me any politician, black or white, that we have ever had that really did something to help the people. I'm not talking about grants and all of that. I'm talking about helping the real people. I'm not talking about fraternities or sororities. I'm talking about the real people that really need the real help, not good old boys and good old girls that you play the game with and y'all smile and retreat and giggle, have happy hour, sit around so people can walk up to you and say, oh, that's city councilman, that's county, oh, that's the mayor. Oh, this, man, that is not worth poop. What have you done lately to help the real people, not to help these clowns that you hang out with? And we're going to talk about that and why. And see, the thing about it is, I'm telling you about this, about individual who did a criminal act but did not get charged because the big deal was made and it was cut to get him in that position. We'll talk about that as well. You're listening to Real Talk with Jennings Bernard, your host. We do appreciate you being a part and continue to be a part of this community. And God bless you. We want you all to get the help that we need, you need, and we need in this community until we wake up. And I'm lining up people that want to come in. To all of you politicians out there that want to run for office, y'all need to give me a call, 901-288-5779. Again, 901-288-5779. If you're willing, if you're strong enough, and you want to come on this show and talk to the people and tell the people what your intentions are so the people can know who you are. And if you think back for a minute, you think ain't nobody listening to this? In the last 28 days on Facebook in this program, 56,000 views have been watching this program. One Monday was 58, another Monday was 57, 55,000 people at one point or another have viewed this. And we're going to make sure that we have these shows put on Spotify, that you can go when you can't listen to it right now, that you'll be able to listen to it over there as well as on Spotify, as on YouTube, as well as on the Facebook page. You go to the Facebook page right now, Memphis Real Talk, that's one word, .com. MemphisRealTalk.com. That's the website. And you go in there and look around and see what we're doing. You got comments from me, from my desk, as I call it, from the desk of JB. And I would have commentaries and thoughts and opinions that I would have on there that you can read them. You turn around and you go to the history of how I got into this communication, Bernard Broadcasting, how it started, and how we had the internet radio station before most people did. We got into this. So you can see the history, and then you go to another book, and it has the news of the day and things that have happened. We posted that you can go back. You know, sometimes you see it on the news, and then when the news is off, it's gone because you didn't record it. Well, we got it where the news of the day, like Chief Sweat, uh, and the allegation of her discriminating. Well, we got that in the news. You go there, click on it, you'll see her picture, click on it, and you can hear the thing that you hear on the news and went by. If it's important enough, we're gonna put it on there, and on that button you can type. Oh, well, you once you get to it, you just hit news, and you can catch all of the news that have been on television and been here through this program. That you can take your time and look at it, and we've raised those numbers from 58,000 in 28 days. See, we get a report from Facebook that tells us how many views have been watched, and we want to get that higher. We want you to do what you're doing because you're spreading the words out to your people. And I want you to subscribe now to these pages. We also have PayPal if you want to contribute to the website, to Facebook if you want to subscribe. You can do that to be able to just show your appreciation of what we are doing and what we're trying to do and what we contend. We're not just stopping here with all of these other outlets. We're going to grow this thing, and it's going to take your help to help us to grow it. And this will be something that's a part of you, and you will be able to look at it and see what is going on in this city. Well, on tomorrow, let me say this. Y'all be safe out there. If you're out there with your children on tomorrow, trick or treating, be safe. Hold your children's hand. Don't let them break away from you to run across the street when she sees there's another house or he sees a house that's giving candy. You hold on to their hand because these fools out here driving. Some of them will be drunk, but I don't want them to hit them babies of yours. Hold on to their hand. Make sure you're there with them and you're watching them at all times. I've been there and done that. Mine are grown and gone now. But I remember the days that you had to take them out and they enjoyed going, getting dressed up. And well, I saw a picture I had over here of the baby that they have dressed up. If I could see this here, that's a picture. Uh, my two sons, that's my oldest son. He's dressed up. I guess that's the Hulk, and that's the baby boy. That was Marshawn, our tallest one, and the baby. That's Jason, my son, and that's their cousin on Halloween. Yeah, many, many years ago. I ran across this picture. It was in my desk, and I laid it to the side. So I've been there and done that, and I pray for you that you are blessed and your children stay safe on tomorrow evening, and don't be out there too long. We're gonna talk about some other things and bring them in. Those who are not afraid, give me a call, 901-288-5779. We're going to talk about some things and bring you to the people. And you make your decision. Don't fall for the ballots. Please do your own homework. Please do your own homework because there's going to be a change next year. And they know it's a change. Matter of fact, out there, supposedly in Douglas right now at my home church, they supposed to have their little caravan of people they said gonna move Memphis forward. And these are the same people that got Memphis in the shape that it's in now. How can they move them forward? If they had been able to move them forward, we wouldn't be in the shape that we're in. They're coming to a community center or a church near you soon. But because I'm doing this program, uh, I was unable to be there. But I'm going to get out there And sometime when I'm not doing this, I may be at a council meeting, school board meeting. That's the reason I'm putting this on Spotify and on my website at memphisrealtalk.com, where you can view this later on. In the words of my grandmother, she used to always say, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we'll see you on tomorrow. But I always say, trust everybody, but do not trust the devil inside of them. God bless. Y'all have a great day.